Okay, now let's get our high poly detail to our low poly character, and that's kind of the whole reason that we're doing this. So I feel like here's my character. I'm going to go ahead and name it character, and I'll go ahead and call this character underscore LP for low poly, and then I'm going to Control C, Control V, and then I'm going to name this one HP for high poly. Okay, now on the high poly one, I'll go to here, make sure that that's turned up all the way to 4, and then on the low poly, I want that one to be the 0. Okay, I'm not going to see that until I go to object mode. Now if I click on this, again, put that to 4, and then this one is 0. So you can see that low poly and then the high poly. I'm going to leave them both visible. On the low poly, okay, I'm just going to right click, go to smooth shaded, and to see what that's doing is if we look real close here, we can see kind of the faceted faces. If I go to smooth shade, now it's nice and smooth. That'll accept the bake better. So now I'll go ahead and put them both on, make sure that low poly is selected. Now I'll come over here, I'm going to set this to 4096, so it's a large texture size. Come down to baking, and down here you can see it says use suffix as HP for high poly or LP for low poly, so that's why I did that. And now with the low poly selected with the high poly visible, I'm going to hit bake up here, and now what it's going to do, it's going to kind of transfer that high information to the UV map, as we can see here. I can hide this one, and now I can say preview texture. When I do that, it transfers it to our low poly character. And it's not just the texture, okay, it's kind of a three-dimensional normal map is what's happening. And to test that, I'm going to click on this one. This is going to go into render mode. And if I do Shift A, and I'm going to add a light in the scene, maybe like a point light. And if I move this point light, I can start to see that it responds like it's a three-dimensional mesh. Okay, I can see how the shadows are responding. And that's the whole point of it. So it's giving the illusion of our high poly information. Now, of course, it's not actually changing the amount of polygons. If I click on this and go into wireframe mode, I can see it's still low poly, but it looks like it's high poly. Okay, now granted the illusion is kind of broken on the silhouette, on the edges, but for the most part I feel like it's doing a really good job here. And now if I want to see what this is actually doing, if I go to the texture, if I go to the materials, this is the, when I hit preview material, it kind of put this together for me. And if I come down here to normal, it automatically plugged in the normal map. And if I adjust the strength here, you can see that what it's doing. So if I put the strength as 0, that's what it would look like as our normal character. But if the strength is 1, I can see that now it looks like it's our sculpted character. So kind of taking it full spectrum from the base modeling to sculpting, and then kind of like marrying the two together.